There comes a moment, after the fire has faded, after the waters have stilled, when the earth, silent and scarred, begins to breathe again. But not all scars are visible. Not all battles end with peace. This is the hour between endings and beginnings, where spirits whisper through roots, and truth, long buried beneath pain, rises like morning mist from the soil. The Healing Earth, Part 10. The grand finale of The Wise Woman of the River. Zina has faced the flame. She has tamed the river. But now, she must listen to the ground beneath her feet. To the land that remembers more than the river ever spoke. For in the silence of the earth lies the final truth. Not of power, not of vengeance, but of healing, of legacy, of wholeness. This is not just the end of a story. It is the rebirth of a people. One last breath. One last test. One final rise. Take a seat, grab your popcorn and let the story begin. The Wise Woman of the River, Part 10. The conclusion of the series. The Healing Earth. It all started with the unforgotten voice of Mama Igbo and River Noma. To the echoes of power when Obaduma arrived Umuola Village. We watched as the river remembers. And from that remembrance came the silence before the storm. And then the first clash between fire and water, and fire was consumed by the water. But that was just the beginning, for the river rises again, and when it rises, it stirs. And in that stirs, the spirit that burns was birthed. In that birth, fire met water. And now the earth will heal. And all that was lost will be restored. This is not just the end of a story, it's the beginning of a new era in Umuola Village and River Noma, the river that stirs. For something older than the river has risen. Earth beneath ash. After the fire fell silent, after the river sighed, there was a hush deeper than silence. The earth was not broken, but it bore the memory of what had passed. The soil was warm, scattered with ash and hope. The land remembers all. Zina walks alone. Zina walked barefoot through the clearing, each step an apology, a promise. Her white robe now stained with the touch of every element. She bore the silence not as a burden, but as a song yet to be sung. And I'm that silence, she whispered. Let the earth speak. Let the ancestors answer. To walk with the land, one must listen to its wounds. The children's lament. Children drifted from shattered huts, carrying small gourds of water. They poured thin rivulets on injured saplings, tiny hands doing what great powers could not. Grow, little tree. We'll shade you with stories, they chorus. In every drought, a child's tear can become rain. Mola's awakening. From the edge of the village, Mola approached slowly. Her pink robe flowed like petals on wind. The vision she had seen was still echoing in her chest. She carried no power in her hands, but her eyes glowed with understanding. Mola, the earth called me too. Not to fight. To heal. Sometimes the smallest voices carry the greatest truth. Drum of remembrance. An elder struck a single drum once, twice, thrice. Each beat unfurled a memory of seasons when the river never ran dry. The crowd closed their eyes, letting the rhythm stitch old joys into scorched soil. Sound can mend cracks, no I can see. Iyale Reborn. Iyale sat alone by a tree that had survived the fire. Her red robes faded, torn. But in her eyes was no longer fury, but shame. And in her shame was the beginning of change. Iyale, I saw fire as power. But it was only my pain, unspoken. I see now. Even the fallen can choose to rise differently. The river's gift. A silver fish leapt from the dark waters, landing at Zina's feet. It thrashed, sparkling like a shard of moonlight, then slipped back into the current. The gesture needed no words, life still paused beneath the surface. Hope flashes quickest where despair feels deepest. The gathering at the grove. Zina, Mola, Iyale. 3 women. 3 voices. The village gathered again, not to witness battle, but rebirth. They circled around the old grove, where the river met the roots, the oldest place of remembering. Zina, to the people, let this soil speak our future. Let us plant more than seeds. Let us plant truth. Healing is not forgetting. It is remembering without fear. Mola's vision fulfilled. As Mola touched the roots, the ground glowed. Not with magic, but memory. Vision soared above, of the village before pain, before fear. Of mothers and fathers who sang to the land and listened back. Mola, gently, we are not just descendants. We are the soil. We are the story. She became the echo of every healer before her. Iyale's redemption. Iyale stepped forward, trembling. Her knees met the soil. She placed her hand over Mola's and Zina's. And for the first time, she wept, not in rage, but in reverence. Iyale, I did not know how to ask for peace. But now, I offer it. True power lies in surrendering pride. The spirits return. From the winds, the ancestors returned. Gentle and golden. They hovered above the grove, not to command, but to bless. Their murmurs were not warnings, but lullabies. Ancestor spirit. You remembered the story. You became the story. When the living heal, the dead rest easy. Circle of confession. One by one the villagers confessed small betrayals, seeds of envy, whispers of doubt, moments they failed to protect the river. Each confession turned to vapor, drifting upward like incense. A wound named is a wound already stitching. The planting ceremony. Each villager stepped forward with seeds. Not just of crops, but of change. They planted beneath the old tree. Not for food, but for memory. For legacy. Zina, let the earth bloom not just from water or sun, but from our unity. Roots deeper than history. Dance of new dawn. The drums quickened, feet followed. A spiral dance unfurled, children, elders, the three women at its heart. Dust rose, then settled like golden mist upon their shoulders. Joy is the final stitch in every healing. The final word. And when the sun set, it did not bleed red. It glowed gold. The children danced again. The drums returned. The river laughed. And the earth exhaled. Every ending is a seed. Every story, a soil. Zina, final words, tell the next ones. That we did not just survive the fire. We healed the earth. You have journeyed through fire and water, through silence and storm. You have walked beside Zina, Umuola, and even Iyale. You have seen that healing is not a spell, but a choice. Now, what story will you plant in the soil of your life? The river has spoken. Now it is your turn. And so, the tale ends, not in war, but in whispers of wisdom. The river has stilled. The earth has healed. Zina has walked her path. And you, dear listener, dear watcher, you have walked it with her. You were there when the river first wept. You watched the seeds of sorrow bloom into strength. From the first whisper of prophecy, to the fire that threatened all, to this sacred stillness, you stayed. To every soul who journeyed with us, thank you. To all my beloved subscribers, your presence has been the heartbeat behind this story. And to those watching without a subscription, your spirit is felt, your eyes and ears have honored the tale. Whether you've been here from the very first word, or just joined the river's journey, you matter. This story found its strength in you. As one tale closes, another awakens in the shadows. A new fire kindles. A new river stirs. The next story is already whispering its name. A new legend is rising. Subscribe now to Tempo Timeless Tales if you haven't already. Tap the bell so you won't miss the next so deep journey that's already cooking in the heart of the storyteller. The earth has healed, but the stories, they are just beginning. Tempo Timeless Tales. Timeless tales. Endless wisdom. Boundless imagination.
Thank you, dear friend, for sharing this time. More tales await, legends sublime. Like, share, subscribe, stay on this ride. Together we'll journey, hearts open wide. With every story and song we embrace, in the warmth of our voices, find your place. Together we'll laugh, together we'll cry. In the rhythm of life we'll soar high. With each melody we'll ignite the night. In the harmony of friendship everything's right. Moments we cherish, memories to hold, whispers of dreams and stories untold. Through valleys and mountains, side by side, in the dance of existence we'll take our stride. Every sunset paints a new shade of gold. In the tapestry of time our bond unfolds. As the stars align we'll dream anew. In this canvas of life, it's me and you. The chapters rewrote with laughter and tears, echoes of joy through the passing years. With each heartbeat we sink our souls in the book of our lives. Together we're whole. Interlude Mike Eddy, info recangers. Let the music play, let the stories flow. From the sea of emotions will continue to grow. With colors of life splashed across the sky. In this journey together, we'll always fly. Together we'll laugh, together we'll cry. In the rhythm of life, we'll soar high. With each melody, we'll ignite the nights. In the harmony of friendship, everything's right. Thank you, dear friend, for sharing this time. More tales await, legends sublime. Like, share, subscribe, stay on this ride. Together we'll journey, hearts open wide. More take you, dear friend, for sharing this time. More tales await, legends sublime. Like, share, subscribe, stay on this ride. Together we'll journey, hearts open wide.
Soft portal hums begin. Echoes of wisdom, stories untold, legends of old, in voices bold. Careful, timeless tale, where magic unfolds, adventure awaits in every fold. Joyful hums fade, join the journey, let the magic behold.